Hey guys, welcome to the Happy Hour. My name is Jamie Ivey, and you are listening to Happy Hour number 16 with my friend Laura Kelley. Laura is a mom to 4, and she lives outside of Nashville, and she's one of the craftiest people that I know. So, of course, I'm intrigued by that because I lack all craftiness in my life. But Laura talks today about the kindness advent that her and her husband Josh developed in their family a couple years ago that I am completely in love with and want to try, although it scares me a lot. But she talks about that. She talks about what it was like when she lost her mom and how she was parenting her kids through that. We talk about all kinds of stuff, and she's giving something away. So how nice is that? I want to say a shout out to Jill Moore. Jill left a comment on the Happy Hour podcast on iTunes, and she said, "Thanks, Jamie, for including us in your happy hour. As a mom of 3 little ones, my happy hours are few and far between right now." Jill, I get that. She said, "This podcast makes me laugh, is encouraging and inspiring. Thanks for being real, honest, and letting us in on the conversation." Jill, you are welcome. You're always welcome in this conversation. Thanks so much. One more comment on iTunes. Someone said, "I love this podcast. Jamie manages to tackle serious issues while always keeping it lighthearted and fun. I listen at work and it brightens my day. I also love how Jamie and all the wonderful ladies she chats with balance faith, family, work, and a genuine concern for humanity in such beautiful ways. Listening has introduced me to other fabulous writers I would have never known otherwise. Keep the interviews coming." I will keep the interviews coming. Thanks for your comment. I'm so excited. Laura is a great guest today. You're going to really enjoy it. I'll tell you more about the giveaway at the end. But for now, here's Laura. Hey, Laura. Welcome to the Happy Hour.
Hi.
Okay, so we were just chatting before we started, and this is actually the first time we've ever spoken to each other.
Yes, emails and I guess like Facebook messages, but
stuff like that.
Yes, never verbal communication.
Never face-to-face via Skype. Okay, tell everyone that's listening real quick, just tell them who you are.
I am Laura Kelley, and I am a wife and a mom of 4, and my husband's Josh. I blog at pitterpatterart.com, and I'm an artist. And I stay at home, so I'm at home, but 3 kids in school, 1 kid at home.
So fun. And when did your kids start school?
They started really early, first week of August.
Oh, that's good. Mine started July 23rd, so.
Yes, I read that.
Yes.
And I was like, that is really early.
It's really awesome, though. I mean, let's just be honest. It's great.
I can absolutely relate.
So, how old are all your kids? And tell us their names and how old they are.
Okay, Harper is 7, mm-hmm. Hudson is 5, Solomon is 5, and Eamon is 2.
Okay, I know the answer to this, but I'll ask what everyone else asks you. Do you have twins?
I don't.
I get the same question, so.
Yes, they are like twins. Hudson and Solomon are 4 months apart. Saul's adopted from Ethiopia, and so is Eamon. But they are like twins. Same grade, don't remember life without each other, and so
fun. My boys, 6 months out of the year are the same age, Deacon and Amos. And so sometimes I have twins.
Yep.
Which, here's a funny story. I think I've shared this with someone before, but I was at the gym working out, which this was a long time ago because I don't even have a gym membership anymore. But I was at the gym working out and I was getting ready, and this was before my kids were even in school. So this was forever long ago. And I was in the dressing room and getting dressed after showering, and this woman just started chatting with me, which is uncomfortable for me, first of all, because you're getting dressed.
Yes.
I don't know you. Let's not chat. Yeah. And so she was like, "Hey, how many kids do you have?" And I was like, "I have 4 kids." And she said, "Oh my gosh, your body looks amazing for having 4 kids." And I'm thinking, crap, I've only birthed 1 of them. What do I do here? So I think I was just in need of some compliments that day. So I just took it. I was like, "Oh, thanks."
I would have said,
and then she asked how old they were. And I told her, and at that time, 2 of them were the same age. And she's like, "And you had twins?" I was like, "Yes." And she just raved about how amazing I looked. And I just took it all. I mean, I took every bit of it, and it was funny.
I would have done the same.
But people ask me that question all the time, too. Like,
yes, I get that. Yeah, all the time, because they're only 4 months apart. So the majority of the year, they are the exact same age.
Who's older?
Hudson.
Okay.
He was born in September, and Saul was in March.
And how old was Saul when you brought him home?
5 months. Yes.
Okay, so let's get the facts straight for everyone. You brought him home and you had a 9-month-old?
Yes. So I tell people that I blocked those days out because Hudson wasn't walking. So I would carry Hudson and I would put a sling on and I would put Saul in the sling, and Harper was 2. So I would hold her hand and we would do our thing. So,
and people were like, "Oh, bless you."
Yes, they were.
Oh my gosh.
So
I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to remember when we first met and I can't remember. We have a mutual friend, Maris.
Yes, Maris.
Maris is our mutual friend and you live in Nashville. I don't know if we said that.
Yes, we live in Nashville. It's like 10 minutes from
I was going to say, where do you actually live?
Goulitsville.
Oh.
And it's a little north of Nashville, so like 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay, talk to me about this, Laura. When did you start? Have you always been crafty?
Yes, I've always liked crafts. I actually majored in K-8 education, so I was a kindergarten teacher. Mm-hmm. So when I was in college, though, I started doing canvas art because I had a couple art classes. And once I got pregnant, I was like, I don't really want to go back to teaching. So I kind of pushed my art and started a blog and was like, what is a blog? But I just did it, and slowly it grew. And so, it doesn't do too bad now. So
well, your stuff is amazing, and it's pitter patter art. I remember one of the things I remember about you the most is when we finally brought Amos home, so we had our whole family complete, is that you sent all my kids t-shirts, like matching t-shirts. And that was like such a blessing because we'd never met. I mean, we were just internet friends, and you just blessed me like crazy because you sent me t-shirts for all my kids, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
Do you do mostly t-shirts or canvas stuff?
I haven't done any t-shirts in a long time. I do custom orders. So if nobody's really ordering them, then I don't really do them. So if somebody, has a custom order and they want a shirt, then I'll do one. But, so I just kind of go off of that. Like right now, name pillows are really trending for some reason.
Are they these little bitty pillows kind of?
They're the length of the name. So some of them are actually really much larger. So a lot of people are ordering those. So I'm doing a lot of those right now. And
that's a good baby shower gift.
And I'd posted about, cause that's what I'd started giving as a 1-year gift, for their first day. So all my friends were like, sign me up. I want that for my kid. And so it just kind of became a tradition within our group of friends. And I did a post on it and people started wanting name pillows.
I love it. Okay. Speaking of your blog, do you blog every single day?
I try to do Monday through Friday. I don't do weekends.
So you do it at night?
Sometimes I do it at night. Sometimes I'll schedule the post. So I'll do it the night before. Sometimes I just do it during nap time, just kind of randomly during the day. So
that's good. I have gotten so I cannot even get a blog post out lately these days. I mean, I feel like this morning I've been working on this talk that I'm giving soon, and then I'll do podcast stuff from now until I pick up my kids. So and then at night, my brain does not even work anymore.
I struggle sometimes with ideas. And so before I've asked, hey, are you guys interested in anything? Mm-hmm. Want to hear something? And I get kind of funny requests sometimes on that. So, so I tend to just a lot of it is just random stuff. And I don't understand why anybody reads it, but
it's so good. They love it. Well, your family is interesting. I mean, y'all look different, which I think that attracts some people. You do a lot of crazy giving stuff, which I think attracts people, which is really cool. One thing I want you to explain to us is tell me what you do around Christmas season with your Advent stuff.
Okay. So we do.
Let me preface this real quick.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
I always want to be Laura Kelley during Advent. So last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember, I did my first little Advent thing with all the numbers, and then each day was going to have something in there that we were going to do as a family. I think we did 7 out of 25. I mean, it was
that's good,
it's so hard. Oh my gosh. Okay. So tell us what you do, how you do it, why you do it, everything.
So I had bought this cute Advent wreath at Target one year, after Christmas. And it was when the kids were little, and I wanted to do Advent, and we bombed. It was terrible. We did it the next year, and it was just terrible. So I'd kind of really been wanting to do it, but I didn't know there are a gazillion things out there to do for Advent, I feel like. So I just really felt like we wanted to do something more others oriented instead of us. So I started looking, and I found a Advent that this lady called Random Acts of Kindness. And so when I did my post, I wanted to give her credit for, that idea. She had older kids, so I really had to adjust it because we had little kids. This is before Eamon was around. I think Harper was 4. So the boys were 3 and 2, around there. Mm-hmm. So I had pinned it, and I'd been thinking about it. And then my mom, in November before Christmas, got sick, and all of a sudden, and she passed away. So it was a really tough time. I had no idea. I'd never been through anything like that, so I didn't really know how to navigate those waters. And a friend of mine, her dad had died 3 months prior. So her mom was just really sweet and loving and compassionate and just so good to us. And she brought me a little copy of out of a grief devotional. And in that devotional, it talked about how sometimes you have no idea what to do for yourself, but you can always do for others. And she just said, Laura, I read this and I thought of you, and I thought that's what we're going to do. So she died November 20th, and, December was coming up, and I thought, okay, we're going to spend December just thinking about other people. And so me and my husband brainstormed, and we came up with something to do each day that would involve other people outside of us. And so that's what we ended up doing. And it took some planning. I've learned that if you plan ahead of time, so I make notes. This is so OCD and bizarre to do this, but throughout the year, I kind of make mental notes and think of things throughout the year that will make Advent, because December's so crazy anyways.
Yeah.
It is slammed packed. And so I make notes and I think of things, that would be good and that would be easy. And so, I kind of even buy up stuff ahead of time. And my niece and nephew, they always sell, they're older, they're in middle school, but they always sell cookie dough. And so and I always buy it. So
then you can use those cookies.
So I tuck those away in our freezer. And so that makes, baked goods for people easy at Christmas, things like that.
So how long ago did you start this?
This was 2011.
Okay. So this will be your 4th year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We both had to do the math, which I think was funny.
Yes, I'm literally sitting there.
I'm counting on my fingers. This will be the 4th year, right? This December. 11, 12,
right?
13. Yeah.
11, 12, 13. Yeah, this will be the 4th year. So
I love it. So give me an example of a couple things that you do.
We do, last year, I'm trying to think of some different things we did. The kids painted rocks and just let them go crazy crafty on rocks, and then dried. And then the next day we went and sat them out at the park, just in random places throughout the park. We do, one year we did bags we have a lot of homeless people in our area, and they sell newspapers, and which I love that whole part of it. But we did bags that had, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, gift cards, just things like that we would pass out, just hand out to people when we saw them. We do.
Didn't you tape money on something?
We tape money to, vending machines. Or my boys love to, we go ahead and fill up, the little quarter machines. So we go ahead and put quarters in those one day like that. So they're already loaded. We just do random stuff.
So my question is, do you see this making a difference in your kids' lives?
I do. I feel like me and my husband made a decision really early on that I feel like that the generation that's coming up is a really entitled generation. They kind of expect everything. And I think it's because everything's so instant. And Josh and I both just really want to raise generous kids. And so we did the, even when Harper was a baby, or when she finally could like get Christmas, we did 3 gifts for each child, and that's it. And, so I think they love it. They look forward to it. And now they're at the age where they can help us make the list.
Right.
They can, they can help do the things. And I think it'll be really fun as they get older and they can do more, and, just for it to get bigger and better and more fun. And
I love that so much. I see you do all this kind of crafty stuff with your kids, and it literally makes me want to run into a corner and start rocking back and forth, because I literally just spent the last 30 minutes before I talked to you cleaning up in Story's room. She takes paper and scissors and cuts it into the littlest pieces ever. And then she fills up baggies, and then she stuffs it in corners in her room, and it makes me lose my mind. But she is like crafty in this weird way. And then for some reason, God thought that I'd be the best mom for her. And I don't even know where a glue stick is. I mean, it's just, I see you do these things and I'm like, And
I think that it's like we're hardwired certain ways. I really do think that.
For sure.
And my husband is the opposite. He hates glitter. And that's what I say is, that I don't know why, but that didn't bother me. Like, I'm really crazy OCD about some things, and I like my kids' rooms to be clean. And, and that's one thing I tell them is I'm like, give them the whole teacher speech. I'm like, if you're going to be an artist, then you can be creative and do whatever you want, but your responsibility is to clean up afterwards.
I love that.
Yeah. So they have to clean up, and
I love that so much.
Stuff, like Eamon dumped out an entire tube of glitter like last week when I let them do glitter, and it, for a second I was like, oh goodness, there's glitter everywhere. So,
and you know what? Glitter stays around for months.
My husband loves glitter. Like, he hates it, and he will sit, and our kitchen table is like kind of got like old wormholes in it, and
that are full of glitter.
Sit and pick, the glue and the glitter, and he sits with a toothpick and we'll pick it out because it absolutely grates on him. He hates it. So,
but you know what? You're giving your kids a childhood, and it's fun. And then I am, don't even know where glue sticks are, but everybody's different. And I used to really I have come a long way in my motherhood, and I used to feel like I was like a bad mom because I don't have glitter and I don't like to do crafts, but God has really shown me that doesn't make me a bad mom. It just makes me a different mom.
Absolutely.
And so I feel like a lot of times women, with Pinterest and everything, we can see the woman that we feel like we're supposed to be, and then feel bad that we're not.
Yes, absolutely. Because that's what I do. I tell myself, one of the things we say in our house is different strokes for different folks, because it just does not, it doesn't, in comparison, just, steals your joy. And that's it. So.
And I'm a really bad cook, so I'm not crafty. I can't cook.
I hate cooking.
It's awful.
I hate it. So
Aaron's the cook at our house, and he's leaving in a couple weeks. He'll be gone for 12 days. I literally every day am saying to him, I don't know how I'm going to feed these kids for 12 days. On our grocery budget,
I see the stuff that he cooks, and it looks pretty amazing.
He's amazing, and he doesn't use recipes. Like for me to cook for them for 12 days, I need 12 recipes. I can't handle it.
No, I hate cooking. I hate meal planning. I hate everything we eat is one pot. Like, there are no multiple items.
One pot wonder.
No. I'm like, everything has to go in one pan or whatever.
But will Josh just eat whatever you make?
Yes, he doesn't care. And he doesn't get home until later. He didn't really get home until around 6 or so. And, so I try to have something
so you'll jump into
ready.
Anything.
Yeah. So I literally will scour Pinterest for 5 ingredient recipes.
Yes. There's probably cookbooks out there that are just 5 ingredients.
That's what I need. That's me. That's what I need.
Well, the reason that Aaron cooks so much is because he likes to eat good food. And so I don't make good food. And so he must cook. And so it works out for both of us, honestly.
No, I do everything incredibly simple. It's ridiculous.
Well,
but
it's good that
it
Josh
works.
will eat that.
Yeah, he loves it. So
Hey, speaking of cleaning your kids' rooms, you said this a while ago, and I, like I said, just spent 30 minutes picking up little pieces of paper all over Story's room. Do you clean your kids' room, or do you make them do it?
they do it. That's their responsibility.
But does it have to meet your standards?
As long as, you know what my big thing is stuff on the ground.
Oh,
I
gosh. Yes.
cannot stand stuff on the ground because I tell them we don't throw our stuff on the ground. You don't either. So as long as it's, they don't, I'm really weird about this. Like, as long as it's up and it's in its place, like Harper used to do the piles thing.
Yeah.
And we finally had like a come to Jesus one day.
Yeah.
Like, this has got to stop.
Right.
It absolutely, just drive me crazy. So she actually ended up getting her like this old desk, like an old metal teacher desk that has the 3 drawers on each side, the big drawer in the middle. And we just organized. And I was like, hey, everything's got a spot. No reason to pile it in the corner. No reason to pile it under your bed. And her art supplies have jars. And and she gets that. So she cleans it. And
I love it.
Their beds are made horrible, but they've made it. Like, they put in the effort. They did it. And I am okay with that.
Yeah.
So
I am horrible because I have a hard time throwing stuff away. Ugh, I know it's really, really bad.
I am polar opposite of that.
Aaron is too. Aaron will, if I'm like, man, I had this right here. I knew it was here. I'm like, did you throw it away? He's like, well, I might have. I don't know what it was. And I was like, what? You don't know what it was, but you still threw it away. He's like, yeah, I don't know what it was. We didn't need it. Yeah. I have a problem. I know I do. And have you seen the show Hoarders?
Yeah. No, I don't have cable.
Okay, that's right. But you know what it is.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not like that at all. My house doesn't look like that. But whenever I watch that with Aaron, it's like he kind of gets off my back a little bit because he's like, okay.
You're not that bad.
You're not this bad. But I see this trait of mine, which could be bad, could be not bad. I see it going into my kids' lives. Like, I go in their rooms and there's just so much stuff that can be thrown away that it drives me insane. But yet, my desk, if you saw it, you would be like, Jamie, why do you still have this like insurance bill from 2009? I think you can trash it. I mean,
okay, well, I did just have like bills and things.
Okay.
I did not know that and I feel like such a fool, but I did not know that you could throw those away. I thought you literally had to keep those for forever.
Like electric bills and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
This is so awful.
No, it's not.
I didn't know. I really thought you had to hang on to those. And I play like the dead mom card. I say, well, this is something my mom would have told me. This is awful.
You can use that for a lot of stuff, though.
I
so
can.
keep that in your back pocket.
I can make that joke. But so I called my mother-in-law and I said, Miss Kelley, because I've known them since I was
Kelly.
Here's why. People always say that. Why don't you call her Janice? Her name's Janice. And, but I've known them since I was like 14, 13.
She was always Miss
She was always Mr. and Miss Kelley. So I just and they say, don't, call us Nene or Big Daddy, like what the kids call her or something else.
Yeah.
But I still say Miss Kelley. So I said, Miss Kelley, I've got a question. Like, out of all of these papers that I keep, what can I throw away? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to have to tell me more. And I said, like electric bills, AT&T, like phone bills. And she said, from when? And I said, since we got like married. I thought I had to pick them. And she said, no, oh my goodness. So literally 4 bags full of papers that I took to our bank to be shredded, because she did say, if they have your personal information, it needs to be shredded. So
do you feel like you have this like weight lifted off of you?
Yes, because I am a purger anyways. I like the bare minimal of things, and I always just thought, this is stupid. Why do I have to keep all of this stuff for forever? And then she said, you don't have to keep all that forever. And I was like, this is amazing.
Like,
so
I can walk in this freedom.
Oh, I chucked everything, and it was great.
I do that ever so often, just go through everything and try to be clear.
Yeah.
But the other day I was telling my kids, I was like, listen guys, y'all really need to pick up your room. And I opened their closet and I was like, oh my gosh, there's just clothes everywhere. And I was like, y'all, this is not okay. You need to pick up your closet. And one of them looked at me and said, well, this is what your closet looks like. And I was like, okay, first of all, I don't care what my closet looks like. I'm in charge of it. You know, I mean, I always feel like I feel that way with my kids. Like, but here's the deal. If you don't clean your room, I have to. I still always have to clean my room. So this is why you have to do it.
Yep.
Oh, these clean rooms drives me crazy. Okay. Speaking of houses, I found this online the other day. Speaking of purging, it said 9 things that are like nasty in your house that you need to throw away.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's see if you or I have these things sitting around our house.
Okay.
Okay. The first one is hazardous waste. And it said it was like aerosol cans, batteries, antifreeze paint. Oh, you might have paint. It said they need to be disposed of properly.
Okay. I do not. I have like a couple paint cans that still have paint in them.
Are those bad?
See, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that.
We have
but
those in
other than
closets.
that, I do not have hazardous waste.
No, I don't either. Hey, speaking of purging, this happened the other day and Erin was so mad at me, but I was like, listen, I'm just doing what you always do. I found a paint can, a paint lid. It was like in a drawer somewhere. And I tossed it. Like, why do we need a lid? You know? And Aaron called. He's like, hey, I've been saving this paint lid so I can go get matching paint to match the kitchen. And I was like, oh, yep. I threw that away a long time ago. And he was mad. And I was like, this is what you do all the time.
I was trying to clean.
I was trying to help out.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is something I really want to work on. It's plastic containers.
Oh.
No. You don't have plastic containers?
I have a stack. Like, I have like a little set that we use. But other than that, no. Like the extra... My mom always kept those, like, because she would send food home with us when we leave, but I don't send food home with anybody. So
but when you put leftovers up,
yeah, I use my little set that I have.
Is it glass?
And it's like plastic.
Oh, okay.
But this is saying, that's not bad.
This is saying that
all plastic
containers with recycle codes 3 or 7 may contain that BPA stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I'm not really worried about the BPA for some reason.
We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to make sure that we raise our kids to be generous. I'm with you on that one. Okay, next one is expired or unused medication.
Toss it.
I'm really bad about that. I mean, I'm just like, I'll keep stuff forever.
Yeah, I actually recently went through our bathroom, and so I was able to toss all our expired stuff.
That's so good.
So I actually don't.
Old spices.
My spices might be old because I don't like to cook.
I swear to you, I think we have some spices in our cabinet from when we got married. Like, we got a set.
Yeah.
That's 14 years ago.
That's a long time. Those are definitely expired.
Yeah. This is saying that they last 1 to 2 years. Maybe that's why Erin says my food doesn't have any flavor. Maybe it's the spices' fault. It's not my fault.
It's not yours.
That's what I'm going to say from now on. I was like, it's these spices. They're too old.
Yeah, I definitely might have expired spices.
Okay. Number 5 is moldy makeup.
No. I'm really weird about that. I have a very minimal amount of makeup, so mine's not funky.
It says that mascara has a shelf life of 2 to 3 months.
Now, my mascara might be old then.
Yeah, mine's old. I'll tell you that much. Lip gloss is 6 months.
I don't really use lip gloss that often. So
my problem is I don't wear a lot of makeup. So if I bought a thing of lip gloss, I'll lose it for 3 months and then find it.
Yeah, the lip gloss I have is definitely old then.
It still works.
Yeah.
Crusty contact lenses.
I don't have crusty contact lenses.
Do you wear contacts?
I do. I'm blonde as a bat, but I feel like once they reach a point, they tear my eye. Like, I can't wear them anymore, so none of mine are crusty.
I had LASIK, so I don't have contacts anymore.
Oh, that's good. Did that work good?
Oh, it's amazing.
See,
I recommend it to anyone and everyone.
Are you going to have to have it redone?
I don't know. I scored a really cool deal with it, though. I got it when I worked at the radio station, and I got it for free.
That's amazing.
I mean, I advertise for them, but that's how it works, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so contact lenses, don't keep the old ones. I'm failing every single one of these. The next one is pillows. Like it said, pillows older than 18 months
Then
can
all of our
contain
pillows are horrible.
dead skin and dust mites.
Ours are full of that then.
Mine are too. I refuse to buy my kids new. I could probably get all of my kids new stuff now because I went through a phase where I was like, we get nothing new that goes on a bed until people stop peeing in beds. I mean, that's just what it is. if there's anyone in this house that still pees in the bed, nothing new is coming in this house.
I think that's a great rule.
Yeah, so we're finally able. I should replace everyone's pillow because no one pees in the bed anymore.
Yeah, all of our pillows are definitely old, I would say.
Expired canned goods.
I do not. I'm going to sound like such a weirdo.
Why?
Well, just all of this quirkiness. Okay, well, here's my reason for this. I don't have a lot of canned goods.
I don't either. I think I have 2 in my pantry right now.
That is how, our house is smaller on the small side, and so I don't have a pantry. I have just a cabinet where I keep like food. So when you don't have a lot of room, then you don't have a lot of extra space for canned goods. So the only canned goods we buy are the ones that I'm going to use right now.
Week. Yeah.
So
when we first got married, I swear I think half of our basket was canned goods. We ate like canned corn, canned green beans. I mean, everything was canned goods. And the canned goods I'll buy now will be like, tomatoes or something, tomatoes. But we buy a lot of bulk food.
Right.
Like bulk beans, and then we make them, it's cost effective and, okay, your kitchen sponge.
Mine's probably horrible.
I heard, we don't have a microwave in our house, but when we did, we used to zap in the microwave for like 60 seconds all the time.
I've never heard of that. I should do mine for that then,
this
because
says
mine's probably awful.
It says to cut contamination, microwave your sponge daily in an inch of water.
That is really interesting.
I throw mine in the dishwasher all the time. I don't know if it does anything. It makes me
I didn't
think it
know
might.
you could do that either.
I mean, I don't know. I just do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I would think that would do something.
Something. It's cleaning my dishes.
It cleans your dishes. Yeah.
Right. That's what I
would clean
thought.
your sponge.
That's what I thought. Okay, so those are the 9 things. I think we did pretty well.
I don't think that was too bad.
No. Our houses aren't that dirty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw. Do you and your husband like to go out to eat and stuff? What do y'all do about date nights? How do y'all handle that?
Date nights we typically will do. We have like a little babysitter that will come, and so we'll usually go out to eat, or just random stuff. But we usually eat out for sure.
Okay, I love that. I know we. So I want to tell you about this in case you don't know. I saw the other day the South's top best new restaurants. One of them is in Nashville.
Is it Fido?
No.
Oh, what is it? Urban Grub.
Okay, so the maybe I should help you with this. The clarification here is they had to have been within the past year. So like June 2013 to June 2014. It was something like that.
I might not know it then.
The 404 Kitchen.
Oh, I've never even heard of that.
There you go, because it's brand new. The South's 10 best new restaurants. The 404 Kitchen.
The 404 Kitchen. I feel like I'm not up on what I should be, but I have a friend who she eats downtown. She works downtown, so she's kind of...
She keeps you in the loop.
She does. Like anytime, like Jessica from Noonday, she came in and we got to go out to eat, and I text my other friend, her name is Jessica too. I said, hey, where should I take her to eat? And so she told me where to go, and so we did that.
So fun.
It's kind of a go-to to keep me up on what...
Aaron and I love food. It's just, we love eating. We love eating out. We love good food. We don't get to do it as much as we want to, only because we're not millionaires. And so
absolutely.
There you go. There's that.
That would be nice.
Yes. But we do love it a lot. Your mom passed away before you even 30, it sounds like.
I had just turned 30.
Okay.
It was my 30th birthday. Yeah.
She died on your 30th birthday?
No.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
My birthday is November 2nd.
Okay.
And she died on November 20th.
Okay.
So it was before my birthday, or right after my birthday.
Right after your birthday. And it was sudden, correct?
It was, yes. She had I was actually in Florida visiting, my best friend lives in Orlando. So typically for my birthday, I'll try to go down and hang out with her for my birthday. So I was down there with her, and my mom had called me, and she said, she was having difficulty holding things in her left hand. And so, me and Saul had actually gone to eat lunch with her the day before, because I'd just left the day before. And she said, she was crazy and so funny, but she said, they think I might have had a stroke, but I'm going to go to the flea market. And I was like, I really think you should probably go to the doctor.
Right. How about we do that later? Yeah.
She said, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. And so that was on a Friday, and that night she called me and she said, hey, I'm going to go to the hospital because they do think I've had a stroke. Because she went to the flea market, and then she went to the movies, and it was her day off. Mm-hmm. And so she, had fun and then decided to go to the hospital. So they did a scan that night, and it ends up that she had 2 brain tumors, and it was a very aggressive type of cancer. And that was on a Friday. And so I flew home, and Tuesday she had brain surgery. And then just a couple of days later, she had a massive blood clot and she passed. So, yeah.
I remember, so within a week, you went from, I think I had a stroke, to I have massive cancer in my brain, to surgery, to die.
Yep.
Wow. I remember following you along during that when that happened. And I just remember the feeling of like, man, Laura has to be feeling like I'm just too young to have to be dealing with it. I mean, how old was your mom?
Yeah. She was 64.
Yeah. I mean, that's young.
64, I think.
Yeah, that's young. So what was that like entering into this new stage of like grief when it was so quick, and it's someone you love so dearly, and you've got 4 little babies, and just, right. I mean, what was that like at all?
It was definitely difficult. That was definitely one of the most difficult times of our lives. And one of my friends, Courtney, she's one of my really good friends. Her dad had passed just a couple months, and his was a sudden heart attack, and he was out of town. And so I kind of started seeing that those 10 days that I was lucky to have those 10 days, that it could have been, just like that. Mm-hmm. And so Courtney was a very big encouragement to me, her family. She just could relate very differently. And it was really interesting because when her dad died, it was God. It pressed on my heart that I needed to handle this differently than I'd ever handled anything. And I remember sitting with my mom in her dad's funeral, and I just remember thinking, I have got to be here. Like, I've got to step up my game. This has got to be different. And I honestly, like, I guess nobody that I've ever been friends with, their parent or somebody that close had died. So it was just, and I think that now looking back on it, I think God was preparing my heart. And so, it was just really sweet what me and Courtney have out of that. But it was very difficult. It was, you just don't know until you are like right smack in the middle of it, and it's like a day to day, trying to figure out what this new life looks like, because it doesn't look the same. It still doesn't look the same, but you have to embrace the different. You have to embrace the new life that you have. And, so it was different and hard, but
I have a handful of friends who have lost parents, through cancer at a young age. They're even younger than me. And none of them had, the friends I'm thinking about, none of them had kids at the time. And so one of my girlfriends is pregnant with her first child, and she lost her dad about 3 years ago. And she said it's just been really hard because she feels like her child that she's carrying is never going to know this man that she loved.
Right.
How would you because I feel like that you can be an encouragement to anyone that's listening that might have lost a parent or has a sick parent. And how have you dealt with this with your kids? Like, has it A, changed how you parent at all? And B, how have you explained this to your 4 babies?
Well, Eamon actually wasn't home yet. Okay. So it was just Harper and Hudson and Solomon. And the boys were younger. They they remember it. Like, they still talk about it. And, this is going to sound weird to you, but my mom was the youngest of 12.
Okay.
And 9 of those were girls. So crazy big, like super tight family on her side. And one of my aunts, she videotaped the funeral, like videotaped the service. They videotaped the burial, like all the stuff that you think is really morbid, but it's really sweet to have, like to see my kids, and that because we took them to everything. We wanted them to see everything. And, so the boys were more okay with it. Harper, like even still, like I can feel the tears kind of coming up because Harper was different. And I don't like this part, but, Harper was really close to my mom. So that was really difficult for her. And I think seeing her walk through that, because she was so young, like she was in preschool. She was about to start kindergarten the next year. And she just, I don't know, she just was pitiful. And so we just tried to explain that, that this is life, that sin is in this world, and that because sin is in the world, that, things happen that we don't understand, and they're not always fun or good or happy or what we want, but that ultimately we have to trust that this is not that God allowed her to die, but that everything filters through his hands. I heard a preacher say that one time, everything filters through his hands. And so, we just tried to be open with her and talk with her about it. And, even still, in fact, this week, because she changed schools this year. So she's been okay with it. And then she's kind of been a little weepy on leaving the last couple mornings. But this weekend, she was just kind of sad in bed one night. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "I don't remember how to get to Grammy's house. Like, I can't remember how to get there." And so we talked about, you drive this way and we would turn this way. And she's, and I think that she still, has a sense of loss about that. My mom would come and see her every, like, ridiculous grandmother, but the best. And so I think that it just was really hard for her. But I also think, that Eamon brought Harper this joy that I just had been missing from her. And so, and she's just a really joyful kid anyways. And so that was really difficult for us to see her in that loss and to struggle that way. And Eamon we took Harper with us to meet Eamon for the first time, because we just felt like she needed to do that. She needed to go to Africa. She needed to spend that time with us, and just the connection and bond they have. And that's what I tell her. I say, God has his ways of mending our hearts and healing us. And, I believe that he used Eamon to heal you. So
I love that. I know that I haven't lost a parent. I've walked through it with some friends, and I don't know that I can't speak on this. I'm guessing. I wouldn't think that it would get easier. I just think it would be different.
It is. It's, I get surprised by it still. I kind of feel like I can talk about it and not cry. I think aspects of it make me like Harper, like that just, and I, as a mom, I guess that's the pull really, but, it's surprising. I feel like now I'm walking through another stage of where she seems distant now. It's been a couple years and she's starting to feel more like, was she really here? Just kind of this distance. And that's just a whole new, thing to kind of walk through. And I think that I still miss her, but I like to look back and say, I have come so, God has brought me from there to here to here, and just, and recently my friend Courtney that lost her dad, it was the 3-year anniversary of her dad. And, we text every single morning. And so she texted me that morning and just praising God for how different this year looked from last year. And so I think you have to look at it that way, of the steps he's brought you through and the point you are now compared to where you were. Yeah.
And I think talking with kids about death is so hard.
Right.
And it's hard when it's so personal, like how you guys had to walk through it for the first time with your kids. We lost a friend in December, and my kids had never met him. He was a friend of ours. He worked with Aaron at church, and he was killed, but still walking through that with our kids was just difficult for them to even see, like, for them just to see the reality of life.
Right.
That we
right.
all will leave this world,
Yes.
It's not when we want to, some of it's not how we want to, but we all will, and for us, it's been a really good way for us to talk to our kids about like trusting God even when we don't understand,
right.
and trusting God even when it doesn't even make sense.
Yes.
And then even just telling them that like God promises that he makes good out of everything.
Yeah.
And so even when we're looking at it and like, this doesn't look good at all.
Right.
Now this woman is a widow and she's a 2-year-old. How is this good, God? But we can
Right.
trust that he says that it is.
Right.
It's so hard.
Yeah. And that's that's one thing that Hudson, one of our boys, he is my fretful child. Like he's my worrier. And so it was just reaffirming him that, here, and it's hard when they're that little, and I feel like we tend to want to shield them from the world,
Yes.
but in reality, when something like that happens, I feel like that it's worse to be like, oh, no big deal.
Uh-huh.
And I just said, dude, we are all going to die one day.
Yeah.
And that's just how this world is. But we have this promise in Jesus that we will get to see Grammy again. Mm-hmm. She is in heaven and we will get to be with her. And are y'all going to die? And, you go through like that, the fear of that and just reaffirming it. And I'm like, eventually I am, man, but I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
So just kind of working with him on not worrying about it. So
we went through that too after a friend. And it was like, I almost wanted my kids to trust in Jesus more than like trust in their fear, which, oh my gosh, that's the story of my life. I mean,
with Hudson all the time, I'm like, be brave, strong, and courageous.
Yeah.
God came, he conquered the entire world. And so that's what I tell him, I have to tell him that all the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He's my warrior.
Do you, I imagine that you do, and I think you do. Do you do something every year to celebrate your mom on the day she passed away?
Yes, we do. Her birthday, I do try to do something on her birthday. I try to do something on the anniversary of her death, and Mother's Day. We're the creepy people at the cemetery.
It's not creepy. You're not alone, I'm sure.
Well, and that's what I keep going back to Courtney, but she'll text me, "Did you beat the rush at the cemetery today?" Like Mother's Day, it's pretty hopping out there.
I bet. I was going to say the holidays.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, we went right after church to beat the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we try to do. And I try to flip it like for other people. I try to do that focus in that direction. So we'll give flowers or baked goods or something like that, just to kind of remember her and celebrate her because she deserved it. So
one thing I've tried to do the last couple of years, some my friends that I've said have lost parents in the past couple of years at a young age, is I have the anniversary of their death in my calendar. And so when it comes up the next year, I see it and I just try to send them a card just to like remember, just to say, hey, I haven't forgotten that you have this loss.
And I think that's, I will commend you because I think that's fantastic because I do think that is, I know, and I laugh because my calendar now, because I keep a physical written calendar, but it is like if somebody dies, I'm writing it. My friend, she lost a baby and miscarried. Well, that date is in my book and I send her a card that's just, I think once you experience a loss, and that's why I say, awesome, because it took me experiencing a loss to understand that like what that could be, what a card could do on that day. So, I have all my death anniversaries, all my birthdays,
I like it. I wonder, are there cards you can buy for death anniversaries? Have you seen any?
No, typically which I should like come up with a line.
You should make one.
Happy death anniversary.
I mean, it's not funny, but you know what I'm saying.
I know. But no, I do like the thinking of you, or I try to do funny ones, which I think my friends understand me and will appreciate the, a humorous card or, just a sweet one. So,
So fun. I just remembered one thing that you do. Don't you, in your Advent stuff, put cookies on the trash cans?
Yes. So
every time I think of you all the time when the trash guy comes by, because I'm like, he hates us. Look at how my trash. I'm like, it's not even in the right order on the street. So I should give him cookies. We do
that. We try to, and it's really funny because every single year there's this moment of, is he going to see him or is he going to dump him in the trash can? And so my kids will literally sit at the window watching and he didn't dump them. He got it,
Yay.
excited. But this past year, our trash can, the lid was broken off, or our good trash can got tossed accidentally by our trash guy, and he gave us one that didn't have a lid back. So he gave us not only a bad trash can, but then raccoons. So we've had like this ongoing raccoon problem. So last year there was nowhere to put them, so we used our neighbor's trash can. And
no, you should be like, dude, if you want cookies, give me a new trash can. This is ridiculous. You need a top of my trash can.
So we used our neighbor's trash can.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Hey, okay, I keep thinking about gifts that you do so well. And then, do you do gifts for your kids' teachers, like first day of school?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do the first day of school. I do apple canvases.
Okay, I saw them. They're so cute.
And that is just mainly because I was a teacher, and I still remember little Chelsea Brown, this little girl who brought me my first apple, and I thought, oh, I got an apple, like that signature
teacher thing.
Thing. So I do just a small apple canvas. So it's like a little artwork that's an apple, and it's small. So if they hate it, they're not committed big time. It's not like
it's not like a 18 by 20 or anything.
Yes, exactly. It's just little, and just I put grateful on it because I want them to know that we're already grateful for them and that we support them. So
I love it so much. My girlfriend Megan, she did a podcast with me a couple weeks ago, and she's a teacher, and she said, I'm going to do this. I have like told myself I am doing this year. She said one of her favorite things for people to do is in the morning when they drop their kids off to bring like a lunch menu and say, hey, I'm going to bring you lunch today. What do you want?
That's awesome.
I am bound and determined before May to make that happen.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic.
I was a teacher too, so I like blessing them a lot.
Oh, what grade did you teach?
Well, so I was in college for a really long time.
Okay.
And so like my last 2 years, when I finally hit the 4-year mark, I was like, this is ridiculous. Why am I still in school? And I dropped my teacher certification. So I always taught at private schools. So I taught 5th grade 1 year, and I taught journalism and Bible.
Okay.
To K through.
God bless you.
Yeah. And then I had a kid, and so then I haven't ever been back.
Yeah. See, I could never do. I did my student teaching in kindergarten and 5th grade, and half of the 5th graders were taller than me. So I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing. Never doing 5th grade.
Kindergarten, it makes me just like lose my mind. I cannot. I sub at my kids' school sometimes because I like teaching, and I sub in their classrooms. Is what I've said. Like I really want to sub for my kids' teachers so I can be around their friends. And none of them think it's uncool, so I'll keep doing it. But I did kindergarten last year for a day, and I was like, I do not know how these teachers do this every single day.
Right.
They were so needy and whiny. Oh, my gosh.
Well, and what I always said was by Christmas, you're like a well-oiled machine, though.
You got it down.
I feel like it takes you that first couple of months to really get them going and get them ticking, and then I feel like at Christmas it's like easy sailing, like they are good.
That's so good. At my school, we do a looping. So, like Story had the teacher she had for kindergarten, she also has for 1st grade.
Oh, that's neat.
So then next year she'll get a new teacher. She'll have it for 2nd and 3rd, and then 4th and 5th.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It's great. I mean, it's really good we've had great teachers so far, and so we haven't had any problem. It just helps them, like when she came back to 1st grade, they just started learning because
and she knows them already.
Same kids and teachers. It was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
I know. It was so wonderful.
Sounds really good.
Okay, so I always end asking my guests what they're reading and what they're watching on TV, and you don't have a TV.
Well, I have a TV.
Okay.
I just don't watch it.
This is great.
We don't have cable. We don't have Netflix, and it's solely because we're like these awesome people that don't participate in the world, but I don't have time at the time. And by the time it's at night and I have a chance, I'm either getting work done or just want to go to bed. So I don't have anything I'm watching.
I think that's awesome. I don't watch that much TV either, but here's the difference between me and you. At the end of the day, like 9 o'clock after all the kids are down, I already told you my brain does not work. So I clean up the kitchen, and then all I need to do is sit for an hour and veg at nothing. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I don't watch TV during the day, except for like 30 in the morning. I'll watch like news for 30 minutes.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, let's just watch a show, and then we turn it on. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on in any of these shows. And I used to love Big Brother.
Oh, I did too.
It was kind of my only like reality show I ever got into, and so I live vicariously through two friends, and they send me. So they tell me what's going on, but I never watched the show.
I haven't seen it the last 2 times.
No. So I don't know the people. I don't know any of that, but they still send me updates. And
that's
so,
hilarious.
Like, okay.
It's on right now, I think.
Is it really?
I think it's always on in the summer. Maybe.
I thought you meant like right now.
Oh, at this moment? No.
No. I'm trying to think. I do read some.
What are you reading?
Right now I'm reading Flesh, and I can't remember who it's by.
Flesh, what's it about?
But it's really good. It's very, I feel kind of stupid sometimes. I feel like when I read stuff, I don't understand. And so I say that this is a book I understand. But it's really good. It's just kind of about being in the world and loving people in the world, and kind of not being afraid of, and not venturing out and meeting people because of fear. So I'm reading that. And then I think it's called, this is awful because I don't know. I think it's called A Million Little Things.
Man, who is it by?
I'm like, let me look it up.
Is it a girl author or a boy author?
Yes, it's a girl author. I actually got it I did a craft weekend. Yes, it's The Million Little Ways. It's by Emily Freeman.
Oh, yes.
And I've heard fantastic things about it.
I have a book by her that I have been wanting to read called Graceful.
Oh, okay.
By Emily Freeman, but I haven't read it.
See, and I got this one. I did a craft weekend with 2 craft ladies, Meg and Kimberly Joss, and they that was one of the books they gave us, and they talked about how fantastic it was. And so that's my next one. That's what I'm reading next.
So fun. So you like to read books that are like improving your mind, not like fiction.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't, I think that it's because I don't read that much. So when I do read, I kind of want it to be something that, count. Yes, I'm like, if I'm going to actually read, which is awful because I want to be a reader. But it's time. I'm awful about time.
You know what? I read so much in the summer. And I think it's just because just wherever my kids are, I'll just read with them. I can't get any work done. And so I might as well be reading. So I read a lot of fiction in the summer. And then when the school year hits, I mean, it'll take me 6 weeks to get through a book.
Yeah.
Because I just like you, I don't have time. I need to make more time to read during the school year.
And maybe I think when they're older, and I have big kids, but the Eamon's too. So at the pool and stuff, if he's with us, I can't read.
This is my first summer that I took the kids to the pool, the beginning of the summer. And literally I was like, why do I not have a book here? This is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I actually signed Eamon up for Summer Mother's Day out.
Yeah.
2 days a week for like 3 weeks. And so those days I took a book to the pool. Like, this is the life. Like, this is amazing.
So fun.
Did that.
So fun. Well, Laura, I forgot to mention this. You are gracious, and you said you're going to give something away.
Okay, so we're going to do a couple of key fob sets.
Ooh, I love those.
Yeah, well, and that's what I thought. I thought Jamie likes key fobs, and it's the beginning of the school year, and you can share them with friends or teachers or whoever. So I've got 3 key fob sets that we'll do. So you can draw 3 winners.
That is great. And just so everyone knows, these have been teacher gifts of mine. I mean, I think I've ordered them from you like 3 times, maybe.
Practical.
They're so practical.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'll put on the blog, jamieivey.com, how you can win. And so super fun. Those are great. And Laura, today was so good.
Thank you. I was, I'm nervous and silly, but
you said that you were nervous because you said you have such an accent.
Do you hear it?
Well, I hear it, but it doesn't sound like anything like bad.
Okay, good. I just think that the few times that I'm around people that aren't from Tennessee and they hear it, they are like, wow.
Wow. Have you always lived in Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay.
My entire life. So.
Okay. You were Tennessee.
Yeah. So
Good, good, good. Okay. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. And I know that
Thanks for asking me, Jamie.
it was fun and people are going to be encouraged. And thanks for sharing about your mom.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
I know that's hard. And people are going to be listening to this, wiping tears away when you talk about her and Harper. I was like, oh, precious, precious. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Jamie.
Yeah. Guys, I told you that you would love Laura. Isn't she just awesome and so wonderful and so sweet? She thought that everyone would know her, like she had this big Southern accent, but I thought it was just beautiful. I was shedding tears when she talked about Harper and how Harper dealt with her mom passing away. You know, you're just not ever prepared for that. And so, but it's something we're all going to have to deal with. So I loved her encouragement and how God led her to, like, you don't know what to do for yourself, but you can always help someone else. That was so profound. I love that so much. Laura is so generous that she's giving away 3 sets of 2 key fobs. So you can go to my website, jamieivey.com, and it's going to be super easy to enter. Just leave a comment. That's all we ask of you. And then I will pick a winner in a couple days. And so you have 1 to keep for yourself and 1 to give away, or 2 to give away. I've used these as teacher gifts a lot because they're simple, easy, cute. Everyone loves a cute key fob. So thank you to Laura for that. I want to say thank you that all have subscribed to the podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes or on Stitcher. There's links on my page to find it. You just look up Happy Hour Podcast with Jamie Ivey, and there it is. Thank you guys so much. Your comments mean the world to me. I love doing this. I love talking to women around the world that are changing the world, changing their families, changing their children. It's just a joy to be able to bring our conversations to you. So coming up the rest of the month, we've got Courtney Langford, who her and her husband served in South Africa. And she has a great story about that. Jessie Connolly from Naptime Diaries is joining us. I love Jessie, and I'm just getting to know her in real life. So that's been a joy for me. And then I also have Gloria Furman, who will be coming up, and her husband live in Dubai. And so a lot of great guests coming up. And then we'll start all over again in October with great guests. Guys, thanks so much. If you have any questions about the podcast, if you have anyone you think I should have on the podcast, I love to hear all of that. Just leave me a comment, jamieivey.com. I'd love to hear your guest ideas because who do you want to hear? That's what I want to know. So again, thanks for listening to the Happy Hour. I hope that whenever you're listening to this, that you are enjoying your family, enjoying your friends, and that you just have a great day. Bye, friends. I'll see you next time.